Like, share, and subscribe. Welcome to Grandpa Sees the Blinking, and we're going to look at the 4-hour chart all through this whole deal. Okay, here's what's going on. Grandpa's going to do the earnings call of Tesla with Elon and the CFO, but I'm going to start it at the question and answers part so we miss out on the introductory stuff in the first 25 minutes. And this is hugely important in Grandpa's opinion. I've gone through this earnings call now all of 7 times. All night long I went through it again because I kept feeling like I was missing stuff, and I was. All right, so you have the next gen car, the car that's coming in the future here, near future, and Grandpa calls it Gen X, but it's next gen, next generation. And production for that vehicle will be starting around the end of 25. And it's going to be a less expensive vehicle, but extremely high tech. And they talk a little bit about it. It's got AI, it's AI capable. It's going to be revolutionary, as well as the line making it is going to be something the world has never seen before. And the reason for Tesla's drop in price after this earnings call is the slow growth potential of Tesla over these next few years in regard to the vehicles. And investors are used to Tesla jumping up 30% a year, whatever. And this last time they jumped up 17%, which for a normal company is 3 times the amount anybody would even hope for. But in Tesla's case, it's so we're slow growth, and truthfully, with this next gen vehicle, they start production in 26, and by the time they get it ramped up and going, they're not going to do. It's going to be probably 27 or 28 before they're completely wrapped up and pounding them out as fast as they can. They got to build more factories. They're going to start in Austin and then make it down to Mexico the way it sounds, and possibly Germany as they grow it over time. And the car part of the business is really going to end up to be just a tiny part of it, what Tesla has going. And then you have full self-driving, and they've been in touch with different companies, and they'll talk about that in regard to licensing full self-driving so that the Ford and GMs of the world and anybody can come to Tesla and have, because Tesla is so far ahead of everybody else in full self-driving. They've got the FSD 12 that just came out that's AI capable now, and it's just way far ahead of what they've been using. And so Elon and they figure that it's going to, in the next year, that they'll start licensing the Fords and GMs of the world, just like they did with the charging stations. Ford was the first one to come and adapt Tesla for the charging stations, and then GM and everybody followed suit, and Mazda just recently, and they're all on board now. They're all using Tesla charging stations. Tesla's making money off it. but they're going to really make a ton of money off of this FSD. That's FSD is going to 10x the company, okay, if not more. With the licensing agreements, they get paid for all this stuff continually, and to have you got the robo taxi with FSD that can drive itself. You're going to have semis driving themselves, and so on. And so, yeah, that alone is going to, but this is going to be implemented over through probably out the next 5 years, okay? And Grandpa's coming to a point here. Just bear with me. Battery improvements, revolutionary, it was the word used. Revolutionary was the word used for the next gen car, and the machine, making the machine so they can do this revolutionary car, but also revolutionary battery improvement that they're working on and accomplishing. Energy storage, and the reason Grandpa's going through this is so that you get a handle on when they're talking about what they're talking about. As we go through the earnings report, I'll stop periodically and may play some parts over again so that you can hear what they're saying clearly. I might play it a couple times. Grandpa likes to repeat stuff, but getting back to energy storage. What is energy storage? Energy storage is the wall chargers that people have in the garages, and they sell the energy back that they don't use for their own vehicle to the utilities, and they end up getting a free ride if they do it right. You have the mega pack. That's the thing that Grandpa likes, that the utilities are buying, and the big companies, and some of them actually get up to 500 of these things. And it don't show up in Tesla's earnings until the job is done. And some of them buy 50, some buy 10. They're backed up massively. And Elon states that the energy storage part of Tesla is growing. The Megapack, the wall chargers, is growing much, much faster than the car part of it is growing. And take, for instance, the Cybertruck. They're only planning on making 250,000 Cybertrucks per year. What income that gives them? Maybe it gives them $1 billion a year in extra income or something. But when you're talking Tesla, that's tiny, okay? And much bigger for Tesla in the future is the Tesla Semi, in Grandpa's opinion. And they're building the plant up in Nevada right now. But by the time this thing gets wrapped up, it's gonna, and really going, it's probably gonna be 3 years from now, 4 years from now before we start seeing major money coming. And that, with everything else that they're doing, maybe Tesla goes 10, 15x from where they're at today, okay? And they'll keep growing it, but you're looking years out. You're looking 30, 32, probably realistically, before they're really ramped and bombing them out, and Tesla's headed for Mars type of deal with the next gen and the FSD and the whole works. And that's a much longer wait than what everybody was hoping for. You got the Model Y, best-selling car in the whole world. Okay, but they're gonna upgrade the Model Y. They're gonna upgrade their vehicles. Okay, um, and that makes for slower growth temporarily here. Okay, and the market doesn't like that. Okay, but what Grandpa's caught when I was listening to this thing is Optimus, the robot, the bot. And in the earnings call, there's a point where they could ask the question about when they're going to start shipping the robots. Okay, and the answer is in 25. Some they're going to start shipping them in 25. And then I believe the question was, when are they going to? How how many? How many in 25? Uh, and the CFO chimed in, millions, millions. I believe he said it was either a million or millions. We'll have to listen. Um, and this CFO he's got is beyond conservative. There's no hype with this guy. If you know anything about him, and he isn't. Elon might hype a little bit, but this CFO guy, he ain't that type. And just as he's saying millions, Elon starts talking, and you'll hear it when the time comes. 25,000 each is word on the street. 25, 30,000 each. Probably mostly all profit from these robots, and potential uh, is in the billions of robots, billions. Okay, 1 million a year is 25 billion, more than all the rest of Tesla. But Elon is saying far, far more. The robot part alone, Optimus, is going to produce far, far more than all the rest of Tesla combined. The FSD that's going to 10x, has the ability to 10x the company, the robo-taxis, the Cybertruck, the Tesla Semi, the Gen X car that's 25,000 that everybody can buy, that's AI capable, uh, and it's. But the biggest thing of all, and I'm going to tell you what the biggest thing of all is. There's a lull in the car growth, the truck growth. The energy storage is moving on fast for energy storage, but that's not the big game in town. Big the big game in town is Optimus, and Optimus, uh, well, 25 billion in 2025. That's 1 year from now. Uh, they're when the markets figure out what's going on, you won't be able to buy a Tesla share. The day is coming. Uh, I want to tell you right now, Grandpa's opinion, from what I'm hearing, is 10,000. Grandma's not going to sell shares at 10,000, or 20, or 30, or 40. Potentially 50,000, and they'll do reverse splits and lower the price. But the equivalent right now, Grandpa's seeing $50,000 per share based on I'm what this robot has for potential. Uh, if they 100x this company, it and not only that, you don't have to, while the rest of this stuff is growing and coming, that's all wonderful. Over the next 5 to 7 years, the robot's going to be here in 25 and ramping in 26 and 27 into the millions and millions. Uh, uh, you the way Tesla operates, they'll be gaining 25 billion plus a year in income for Tesla. Uh, in Oh, anyway, okay. So Grandpa's going to take and play this thing here, and I hope you can hear it. And I might stop periodically, and I hope this goes well. Okay, if I can get it going here, we'll.
The foundation for the next phase of the growth. Once again, I would like to thank everybody at Tesla, our investors, and our suppliers for being with us in this journey. We can open it up to questions, Martin.
Thank you. Let's go through investor questions. Question number one is from Michael. Given that you moved the start of the next generation compact vehicle production to Austin, has the timeline improved so that we might see the next generation platform vehicles in 2025?
I want to certainly say things with that should be taken with a grain of salt. Since I'm often optimistic, I don't want to blow your minds, but I'm often optimistic regarding time. But our current schedule says that we will start production towards the end of 2025, so sometime in the second half. That's just what our current schedule says. There's a lot of new technology, like a tremendous amount of new revolutionary manufacturing technology here. The reason I want to put this new revolutionary manufacturing line at Giga Texas was because we really need the engineers to be living on the line. This is not sort of a off the shelf, just works type of thing. And it's just a lot easier for Tesla engineering to live on the line if it's in Austin versus elsewhere. So, but we are currently expecting to start production second half next year. That will be a challenging production ramp. Like I can emphasize, we'll be sleeping on the line practically. In fact, not practically, we will be. But I am confident that once it is going, it will be head and shoulders above any other manufacturing technology that exists anywhere in the world. It's next level. So it's always difficult to predict what that S-curve of manufacturing looks like. So it always starts off real slow, and then it grows exponentially. And predicting that intermediate S-curve is difficult, but so I don't know. It's hard to say what the unit volume would be next year. We're not going to make any predictions on that front, but it does seem quite likely that we will start production next year.
Thank you. The next question is from Michael again. What has been the barrier to ramping 4680 cells into multi-million cells per week rate, and when do you expect to get there? Drew?
Yeah, first, I just want to allay any concerns regarding 4680 limiting the Cybertruck ramp, because I've seen some people commenting about that. To date, 4680 production is ahead of the ramp with actually weeks of finished cell inventory. And the goal is to keep it that way, not only for Cyber, but for our future vehicle programs. And as Elon said, it is an S-curve here too. Like it's hard to predict these things, but I'm just describing our goals.
It's a hard problem.
Yeah,
there are entire companies where all they do is make battery cells. That's all they do.
Indeed, okay. Indeed.
We do a lot of other things, and we got a lot of breakthrough technologies that take time to figure out with 46. It's not just that it's a 46 millimeter diameter by 80 millimeter coil cell. That's just the diameter. That's just the dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
There's a tremendous amount of new technology in the cell itself.
And manufacturing technology.
Yes, exactly.
And just regarding what the team was able to do in Q4, Texas successfully swapped line 1 from the Model Y design of the cell to the Cybertruck design of the cell, which was that 10% cell energy increase I've mentioned before. And as with any major new product introduction, the factory and engineering teams collaborated to ensure quality of the new design and the process changes as their first priority. And now our focus returns to cost and production ramp in Q1. In terms of what we're doing, we're currently running 1 production line, 1 assembly line, using 2 assembly lines in addition for yield and rate improvement trials. And we have a 4th in commissioning, and 4 more will be installed starting in Q3 this year. So definitely this is a big year for ramping 4680.
But we also do want to emphasize that we also expect to ramp orders from our suppliers.
Yep.
So this is not about replacing our suppliers; it's about supplementing our suppliers.
Yes.
So we are very appreciative of our suppliers. Panasonic obviously is our longest supplier. They're an amazing company. We've got CATL, we've got LG, and BYD. Yeah.
Thank you. The next question is from Adam. Should retail shareholders be concerned that Elon has stated that he's uncomfortable expanding AI and robotics at Tesla if he doesn't have 25% of voting?
Yeah, I guess let me explain what my concern is here, which is that I see a path to creating an artificial intelligence and robotics juggernaut of truly immense capability and power. And my concern would be, I don't want to control it, but if I have so little influence over the company at that stage that I could sort of be voted out by some sort of random shareholder advisory firm. We've had a lot of challenges with institutional shareholder services, ISS, I call them ISIS, and Glass Lewis, which there's a lot of activists that basically infiltrate those organizations and have, strange ideas about what should be done. So, so I want to have enough to be influential. If we could do a dual class stock, that would be ideal. I'm not looking for additional economics. I just want to be an effective steward of very powerful technology. The reason I just sort of roughly picked approximately 25% was that's not so much that I can control the company, even if I go bonkers. And if I'm mad, they can throw me out. But it's enough that I have a strong influence. That's what I'm aiming for, is a strong influence, but not control. There's some way to achieve that would be great.
Thank you. The next question is, what is your expectation for automotive gross margin ex regulatory credits for the full year?
Like I said in my opening remarks, we're focused on reducing the cost of our vehicles. This is a very extensive and involved exercise whereby we look at not just the component cost but down to the packaging used to get the materials to the production floor. Each element of the cost is scrutinized to optimize further. A few pennies saved at the subcomponent level, whether through engineering redesign or from many other things which I mentioned, leads to cost reduction. This is a constant exercise, and we just have to chase down every penny possible. We have a strong team which is hyper-focused on this. However, this is a very difficult thing to predict precisely because there are a lot.
We don't know. We don't have a crystal ball, so it's difficult for us to predict this with precision. If the interest rates come down quickly, I think margins will be good, and if they don't come down quickly, they won't be that good. Yeah. It's always important to remember that the vast majority of people buying a car is about the monthly payment. It's not that people don't want. We have tons of we have lots of people who want to buy a car but simply cannot afford it. And that as interest rates drop and that monthly payment drops, then they're able to afford it and they buy the car. It's pretty straightforward, and there are no tricks around to get around this.
Okay, thank you. The next question is, does the company anticipate 50% volume CAGR to be realized in either 2024 or 2025? If not, why not?
As we have said in our prior guidance, there will be periods where we won't be growing at the same rate as before. We are between two major growth waves. The first one began with the global expansion of Model 3 and Y. And we believe the next one will be initiated with the next generation platform. In 2024, our volume growth will be lower, as we have said, because we're trying to focus the team on the launch of the next generation vehicle.
All right. Thank you very much. The next question is from Michael. When will Tesla start construction on the Giga Nevada expansion and Giga Mexico? And when can we expect each of these to produce their first products, such as 4680 cells, semi, and the next-gen vehicles?
We have recently broken ground for the next phase of Giga Nevada expansion to incorporate semi and other projects. But as said earlier, as regarding Mexico, we want to first demonstrate success with the next generation platform in Austin before we start construction. Therefore, we have started the long lead work to get the basics ready and plan to follow our recipe from the 3Y ramp with Shanghai, where we started with learnings from Fremont and ramped really quickly.
Yeah, exactly. It's important to emphasize that, Model 3 production was 3 years of hell, honestly, before. Some of the really worst years of my life, frankly. I still have mental scar tissue from those 3 years, as do many. But then Model Y was, somewhat of a variant on Model 3, so a much easier situation. And then we were able to actually do slightly improved versions of, in some cases, significantly improved versions of the Model Y production line in Shanghai and Berlin. And that's the right. I think the sensible way to go about things is kind of figure out the core technology of the manufacturing line and then replicate it with improvements throughout the world.
Thank you. The next question from Michael is, has there been any progress made with an FSD licensing agreement with another company?
I really think lots of car companies should be asking for FSD licenses, but and we've had some tentative conversations, but I think they don't believe it's real quite yet. I think that will become obvious probably this year. And I do want to emphasize that if I were CEO of another car company, I would definitely be calling Tesla and asking to license Tesla full self-driving technology. It's definitely the smart move.
Thank you. The next question from Siddharth. What is the timeline for Optimus' first production of a volume production line, and what are the barriers to getting there?
Optimus obviously is a very new product, an extremely revolutionary product, and something that I think has the potential to far exceed the value of everything else that Tesla combined. And when you think of an economy is productivity per capita times capita. But what if there's no limit to capita? There's no limit to the economy. And the technologies the AI technologies we developed for the car translate quite well to a humanoid robot, because the car is just a robot on 4 wheels. Tesla is arguably already the biggest robot maker in the world. It's just a 4-wheeled robot. So Optimus is a robot with a humanoid robot with arms and legs. It's by far the most sophisticated humanoid robot that's being developed anywhere in the world. I think we've got a good chance of shipping some number of Optimus units next year. But like I said, this is a brand new product, a lot of uncertainty. Is that when there's a lot of uncertainty and you're in uncharted territory, it's obviously impossible to make a precise prediction. But we will be updating the public with progress on Optimus, every few months, and you can see that it's advancing very quickly. I was just in the Optimus lab actually until late last night, until like midnight or something, and finally left the Optimus lab. The team's doing amazing work. That's obviously a case where we want to make sure that Optimus is safe, especially at scale, and that it should be impossible for any centralized control to upload malware to a humanoid robot. So we're going to want to build in localized shutoff that cannot be updated from from a central server. That's a case where we really have to give extreme thought to safety. But like I said, I do think it has the potential to be the most valuable product of any kind ever, by far.
Just to comment on the barrier, I think the barrier, and we've talked about this, is like getting it to actually do something useful. Like we can get it to walk around, we can get it to do things, but it's like that utility part.
We can already do some useful things.
But
yeah,
to making millions of these things, it's like utility. Got to get the utility out of it.
Yeah. A smart robot that can that's capable of doing generalized tasks is what it will be. And in terms of doing, moderately specialized tasks, well, it can already do that, and it'll just get better through the course of the year. As we improve the technology in the car, we improve the technology in Optimus at the same time. It runs the same AI inference computer that's on the car. Same training technology. We're really building the future. The Optimus lab looks like the set of Westworld. But admittedly, that was not a super utopian situation.
Yeah, not the best reference.
Yeah, the creators of Westworld, Jonah Nolan, Lisa Joy Nolan, old friends of mine actually, and I invited them to come see the lab. I think they'll come see it hopefully soon. It's pretty wild, especially the sort of subsystem test stands where you've just got like one leg on a test stand, just doing repetitive exercises, and one arm on a test stand. Pretty wild. Yeah.
We're not entering Westworld anytime soon.
Right. Can't take safety very, very seriously.
Cool. Thank you. The next question from Nermin is, how many Cybertruck orders are in the queue, and when do you anticipate to be able to fulfill existing orders?
First of all, I want to thank all the Cybertruck reservation holders for their patience. The reservation to order conversion rate so far has been very, very encouraging. If the trend continues, as it's very likely to be, we will soon sort out all the builds in 2024. And also, we have new orders coming after the launch. The order numbers keep growing. So we're now all hands on deck focused on ramping, so we can, fulfill all the demands in a reduced wait time.
Yeah, it's important to emphasize that this is very much a production constrained situation, not a demand constrained situation. And we, obviously, we could dramatically raise the price, but that doesn't feel right to us to sort of gouge people for for early delivery. But really the demand is off the hook. As long as the price is affordable, I see us ultimately delivering on the order of something like a quarter million Cybertrucks a year. in North America, but maybe more, but give or take, roughly on that time frame. And it sure is a head turner.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah.
Anywhere you go, people look at you.
Yeah.
They give you thumbs up.
Yeah, it's like finally the future looks like the future.
Yep.
For the other trucks on the road there, and there's some very good trucks on the road, but if you were to switch out the brand name, you wouldn't hardly know which company made them, but you definitely would know the Cybertruck. It's our best product ever.
All right, thank you. The next question is, can we get Tesla energy volumes reported in the production and delivery release?
Yeah, we will strive to do so starting from this quarter. And just a brief update from the business perspective. Megapack continues to see strong demand signals globally, driving consistent growth trajectory through 24 and 25. We want to thank all of our partners who've put their trust in the Megapack team to execute on critical infrastructure around the world. And I would like to personally thank the Megapack engineering and production teams for their strong 2023 execution. Lathrop continues to ramp through 2024 with the operation of a second final assembly line to double capacity from 20 to 40 gigawatt hours by the end of the year.
Thank you. And the last investor question is from Siddharth. What are the preliminary results on return on investment of your ads and education campaign? Given that many people still lack awareness that Tesla average price is less than the average non-luxury car price of $45,000, will you expand educational ads?
As Elon mentioned, the ultimate solution to increase EV adoption is really address the affordability issue. But at the same time, we do aware there's an awareness issue as well. So in Q4, we ran a series of digital campaigns, very targeted digital campaigns across different geos and different channels. The target of these tests is really just to drive awareness and ultimately measure the return of investment on those digital channels. The messaging we're driving is really focused on our product and also try to address some of the misconception of the EV, such as safety, affordability. In one particular awareness campaign we run in Texas, we reached the audience about 10 million unique viewers and generated close to 500,000 visits to our website. A large number of these viewers are first-time visitors to our site. The traffic through these digital channels actually behaved very similar to those organic traffic come to our website. So going forward, we're just going to keep exploring different channels and doing our trials to get a better understanding of this effectiveness of these digital campaigns.
But I would also like to caution that we'll be very careful that we don't want to overspend on this side. We want to make sure people are aware, but that's where we'll keep tweaking our methodology about how and where we spend the money, because we understand the importance of increasing awareness, but at the same token, we don't want to spend a lot of money on just creating awareness.
Yeah, there are some geographies where our market share is remarkably low, like Japan, for example. Now, we obviously need to make sure that we have superchargers in the right locations, and the service centers are there, and the product works well in Japan. But Japan is the third largest car market in the world of any country. So, we should at least have a market share proportionate to, say, other non-Japanese car makers like Mercedes or BMW, which we do not currently have. So I think that's the case. And when I talk to friends of mine in Japan, they're like, there is like quite a lack of awareness of Tesla. So that's the case where we definitely need to increase awareness in countries and regions where there is not that much awareness.
Thank you. Let's go to analyst question.
Okay, well, I'm going to recap a little bit here. Okay, so Elon doesn't want an economic pay package. He's not after money at all. What he's interested in is 25% voting rights, and sounds like this is all coming here shortly, from what I'm hearing, and should happen after they get that Delaware deal done, so he can get the rest of his existing shares that he's owed. And um, from what I'm hearing and all the reports, that all sounds good. And so the highlight of this whole deal, whether they do 100,000, the highlight is that they're going to start selling Optimus in 2025. Whether it's 100,000 the first year or millions, like that CFO, and that guy, you can hear he don't hype nothing, but when once they start sending that robot out the door, that's where things really are going to take off. And she's going to be huge. And once the investors and the retailers figure out that Optimus is going to be the fast growth, not 3, 4, 5 years away, like much of the growth of the rest of Tesla taking off. They're in a lull right now with everything. Still gaining, but in a lull while they get the Gen X, and energy storage grows and grows and grows, and so on. FSD comes, and the other companies start licensing it. This and what Elon says about this is going to be far, far bigger than all the rest, the FSD and everything else. The robot Optimus. And Grandpa's going to close this up here. I'd like you to share this live stream and Grandpa Sees the Blinking with everybody you know, because I'm telling you, I think 10,000 is going to be so dirt cheap in a Tesla share within probably 2-3 years that 50,000 might be cheap. Think about it, 10 shares, if they're worth that much a piece, that's $500,000. This could be the biggest opportunity of your lifetime. And if you don't want to buy a Tesla share, that's fine. Grandpa don't make nothing if you buy a Tesla share. Grandpa's all in. I'm going all in. The day of selling at 284 for Grandpa is over. I'm holding. I don't have to hold that long. When they figure it out in 1 year and them robots start going out the door, you won't be able to buy this stock. Okay, share Grandpa. Share Grandpa Sees the Blinking. But am I forgetting anything? I don't know. I know this much. All good things are from the Lord, and Lord willing, you heard the guy say millions. They're going to be selling millions of this robot. I'm going to name mine Grandma too. I'm not sure what Grandma's going to name her robot, but I hope it's not Grandpa. Okay, all good things are from the Lord. Lord willing, like, share, subscribe. Let people know about this opportunity. I mean, for real. For real. Grandpa, I just can't stress it enough to you. And I'll do other live streams and talk more about it. But this is exciting. And I think everybody missed that this robot's coming in 25. 1 year from now. And when they pound that robot out the door, and that robot's AI capable, which it's going to be, self-learning robot, gets smarter. Each time it shovels your driveway, we got snow up here, you know. Each time it does something for you, it'll get better at it. Okay, Lord willing, I'll talk to you another time. Bye bye.